Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So in the last part, we talked with Levias about where to find the Triforce. We learned that in order to get there, we're going to have to get the 3 parts of the Song of the Hero, I guess 4 if you count his. And those have of course been scattered amongst the 3 different dragons in the 3 different regions of the world. So before we head out to our first region, Faron Woods, we've got just a couple little things to take care of. We're going to head into the bazaar where we're going to be taking care of both of them pretty much. So first things first, we are going to head over to the Potion Lady. If you remember, we actually do have an empty bottle. We picked it up on our trip to Eldin Volcano. So what we're actually going to buy here is an air potion. This is something that we've not really even thought about getting before, because all it does is really keep your oxygen gauge from decreasing so fast whenever you're underwater. It's only 20 rupees, we're going to go ahead and buy it. Also off screen, I've collected a couple bugs that we're going to need in order to actually infuse this thing. So it'll deplete at a slower rate for 3 minutes at its base form. And of course, going to mention powering up potions, which we're going to do this time actually. I think this is the first time we've done this as well, though I could be wrong. But as far as I remember anyway, it's the first time, so we can talk to this guy here. Tell him we can infuse a potion. Of course, show him the air potion, and you can see these are the 2 that I had to pick up, the Sky Stag Beetle and the Skyloft Mantis. I didn't have either of these. The good news is both of these are actually in Skyloft, so they're pretty easy to find. And we already had a couple of Ants anyway, so you can see we're going to upgrade this to the Potion Plus, which will keep our oxygen gauge from dropping at all for its duration, so we're definitely going to take that. Not dropping at all is a pretty big improvement over just dropping slower. So he's going to do some stirring, and there we go, somehow that produces a new potion for us. And there we go, we now have the Air Potion Plus, keeps it from depleting at all. It's definitely very nice, and as you'll soon see, it'll be very helpful in the area coming up, so it's definitely a good idea to at least buy the Air Potion if you don't want to go about infusing it and all that. You know, it's not really necessary, but just at least buying the Air Potion is probably a good idea. We're also going to stop by the item check. I believe the next side quest is actually available to us now. I didn't think it was at first, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, once we talk to her, she's going to have some slightly different dialogue. So she's kind of, okay, making a little heart with her hands there. Let's just not say anything. Darling, My head gets all fuzzy, my heart races, I get short of breath, and I feel all dizzy. Sounds bad. You probably need to get that checked out. So anyway, yeah, you can kind of tell something is up this time. And you know that you've basically gotten... It's pretty obvious when you've gotten to the point where the side quest is opened up. Some items, and then once she starts calling you darling, you know, you're pretty much good to go. So we are actually going to take her up on her offer. I wasn't just talking to her for this. What I am going to do is get rid of the heart medal, and I'm going to replace it with the potion medal, because if you remember, the potion medal doubles the duration of those potions, so now we have an Air Potion Plus, and it'll last for 6 whole minutes, so that'll pretty much carry us all the way through the next section, I'd say. So she waves goodbye, and off we go. And of course, we're going to be doing a little bit of something with her. This next side quest is overall actually kind of boring, but kind of funny at the same time. It really just involves like walking in and out of places and talking to people, so there's no real action involved. What we are going to do is actually stop by her house, which is right here. We haven't been in it yet, but if we just go in here, we're going to sleep until night, of course, because that's when everyone will be inside and we can talk to people. So I say we just go back here. This is her bed, so, you know, I might as well sleep in it. Because that's just what Link does, apparently. He sleeps in just about everyone's bed except his own, it seems. Alright, so you can see she's here kind of rummaging through her journal, I guess, and she's very excited that we're here. And you come to see me at home, I'm so happy. Well, that's good. However, the real person we want to talk to is her father. However, sometimes it just doesn't quite happen yet. You can see he doesn't have any speech bubbles above his head. So I find if that does happen, you can pretty much just talk to him. He'll kind of introduce himself. And I believe you probably have to go through this bit of dialogue before it'll actually start. So yeah, he's this guy, and his daughter is Beatrice, of course, of the item check. And there we go. Okay, so now that we've talked to him this time, if we leave and come back, we should be able to start the next part of this quest. This can get a little bit confusing because you have to come at various times and it's all kind of convoluted. But going out and back in should take care of this. And there we go. Now he's got the speech bubbles. So what he's going to say this time, picked a good time to visit. Daughter? Where daughter? Is daughter okay? That's just weird. It's just like a one-word question. Daughter? So we're smart as a bullwhip, apparently. And now that's the problem. So she's been out of sorts, been all sitting and staring off into yonder. Yeah, this guy's got kind of a country accent. Oh, wait just a gosh darn minute. She's got an unwanted admirer. Well, not quite, but you're close. Won't stand for it. Gonna find the rascal. Yeah, he's kind of close, but the unwanted admirer is kind of her in a way. It's hard to explain. So essentially, we're gonna have to sort out this whole relationship situation. Yeah, didn't think we'd be getting into that in this game, did you? Alright, so of course he requests us to ease this old man's heart and get rid of the lowlife pestering his baby girl. So obviously we're gonna have to kind of do something about this whole feelings she has for us thing. That's kind of weird. Okay, so now I believe at this point we're gonna have to sleep until morning because to trigger the next part we're gonna have to talk to her at the item check during the day, and of course I selected at night. Well anyway, you know what we're doing. I'll meet you back at the bazaar at daytime. Okay, so we are back at the bazaar, and of course Beatrice is now wanting us to talk. So let's see what she's got to say. She wants us to visit her at her house tonight. So like I said, there's a lot of just sleeping and then talking to people. So of course, yeah, we know where your house is. We've visited you before. And no, we don't need the item check service. Okay, so now that we have her permission, I guess, to come talk to her at night, that's what we're gonna do. And once again at Beatrice's house at night, this time, of course, like she said, she wants to talk, so we're gonna have to sort things out here. And what do you think about me? And this is the point where, yes, this side quest does have two possible endings, but to be honest, the difference between them isn't really big enough to, like, warrant showing both. So I'm pretty much just gonna go for the turn her down ending, because, you know, to be honest, I don't really see, like, story-wise how Link would say, like, yeah, I like you, you know? So it's better to just turn it down than lead her on, I guess. Alright, so she's gonna ask us this, like, 4 different times, and we're, of course, always gonna be picking the left option. No. And you can change your mind at any time. Yeah, pretty much. That's just about it. So yeah, you know, like I said, maybe it's kind of a jerk move to turn her down like that, I guess, but, you know, and she's gonna have to take some time to recover and all that, but I'd say it's better than just leading her on and saying, I like you, you know, and all that stuff, so. Unfortunately, she's a little hurt by the whole ordeal. However, this means the father will be a little bit happier. However, I think we're actually going to have to sleep until night again, or maybe just leave and re-enter. But either way, we'll have to reset the place, so let's do that. Okay, so this time it turns out you did actually have to sleep until night again. So, like I said, a lot of sleeping and talking to people. That's basically this whole quest. So, of course, her father's now found out that there's no more admirer. And of course, he doesn't really even care if we were the one responsible for it. He's as happy as a loftwing in an updraft. I guess that works. And he will, of course, give us 5 gratitude crystals. And it's worth mentioning the other end of the side quest. Obviously, you confess your love for Beatrice, and she gets all happy, and then she ends up being the one giving you the 5 gratitude crystals. So it works the same either way, but we got our 5 crystals. And there's actually, I think I said this before, only 80 total in the game. And now that we're at 75, we are rapidly approaching the end of those as well. Okay, so now that we have finished the Beatrice side quest, we're up to 75 gratitude crystals. We've got our air potion and we have our potion medal, and you can see those 2 right there. We are all ready to set out for our next destination. So let's go ahead and hop off. And we will fly down into the Faron Woods. However, once we do so, Fi is going to give us a report. Apparently an unusual phenomenon is taking place, so we can't descend directly into the forest, meaning we're limited to the 2 sealed grounds bird statues. So let's go ahead and just take the bottom one here. So once we land, Groose is going to run up to us. Bad news, the beast looks like it's about to break free again. He's got to get into position, so yeah, I'm not even going to bother with the dialogue this time. He's just going to run up to us and say, hey, the imprisoned's breaking out again. We got to fight him. So you can, yeah, we're going to have to fight this guy for a 3rd time, which if you ask me is a little bit lazy. This whole thing kind of just feels like padding in a way. Really both this and the next section, because they have to have some excuse to give us something to do before we can get the Song of the Hero part, you know? So we're going to have to fight the imprisoned for a 3rd time. Groose is, of course, saying all this probably to make himself feel better. But it's telling us not to get in the way of his shots. If you somehow manage to hit me as opposed to the giant monster, then I'm pretty sure that was intentional. I don't think it's my fault. Alright, so let's hop down once again and greet the imprisoned as he returns for a 3rd time. See, at this point, it kind of loses its threatening factor just a little bit. You know, it's like, I've already beat you twice, and he's just doing the same thing, you know, stomping towards you. We got the Gruesinator, so we can pretty much tell how this is going to go. I mean, I don't know what makes him think he's going to win this time. And this one, it turns out, I would actually say is probably easier than the 2nd time. Basically because you're forced to use Groose on just about every single one, so you don't really even have to worry too much about like getting hit or anything. You can just stand back and let Groose stun him. Because he walks forward so fast that if you tried to attack his feet, you would just get annihilated. Like, there's really no way. But also this time, if you try to jump on him without stunning him first, like on the top of his head like this, he'll pretty much shake you off almost immediately. So you kind of actually have to use Groose to stun him at basically every phase of this fight. And from here on out, it's practically scripted, so there's no real need to worry. You can see he's grown some kind of like weird dark halo thing. I don't really know why that's necessary or why that makes him fly, but yeah, pretty much. Alright, so of course now Groose is going to be ready again. There's really no waiting for him to recharge this time, since you really need him right here. Otherwise the imprisoned would just go straight for the temple. So you just shoot him once with Groose and he'll fall out of the sky here. That's what you really think that you... Like, even during this, you know, big climactic battle, Groose is still being a big joker. Alright, so now that he's down, just hit the spike 3 more times once again. And that'll be our 2nd set of hits on him. So he grows the halo back once again, but unfortunately this time Groose's path is blocked and he can't get to his bomb supply anymore. So he's going to tell us we need to regroup, make our way over here. Alright, that'll work. So of course, all this time the imprisoned is also flying up behind us, so we need to be somewhat quick about this. But it's really not too bad, you got plenty of time. Then once we get up here, we can just kind of run up this little set of ramps on the side. So, I mean, I guess if you didn't really know where to find this, you might get kind of stuck there for a minute, but now we can just walk up and talk to Groose real quick. And he's got another idea. We've got no choice. We got to get up onto the thing's head. So, let's get in. And this time, it's probably a good idea to move around to the side a bit so you can make sure to land more on the flat part. There we go. That can be a little tricky to aim, but you don't want to miss because that would be bad. And you can do it from straight ahead, as you just kind of have to make a pretty precise shot. So I usually just take a few extra seconds to get to the side. It's no big deal. So of course the ceiling spike is now ready for us to do our thing once again. So let's go ahead and hop down there and take care of it. And the imprisoned is sealed away once more. I don't know, it just feels like this battle was kind of forced, like I said before, like they had to find something for us to do, you know? So it's just, let's just make the imprisoned break out again, even though we just fought him. In terms of videos, I wanted to say, what, like 4 videos ago, maybe? So, you know, that's not a whole lot of time, really. But, you know, I guess if you save Faron Woods for later on, maybe you would kind of, you know, stagger his appearances a little bit more, but it makes sense to go in this order. So, well, we've taken care of him for the 3rd and hopefully the last time. They wouldn't make us fight him a 4th time, would they? That'd be kind of crazy. Alright, so now that he's been taken care of, we can head into the temple. Basically, we're just looking for the water dragon, and we kind of already know where she is, so it's really not that big of a deal, you'd think. So, of course, the old lady here is going to compliment us on our sealing him away one more time. Ask if we're close to discovering the Triforce. Yeah, actually, we have a pretty strong lead. And of course, Faron Woods are close by. However, there's been an unusual turn of events in the woods. Well, what do you know? So apparently the path to the woods is completely flooded, and had to close the gate and drive back the water with a seal. So we can't open the gate without just flooding everything. Well, that's kind of a pain, isn't it? So, of course, Groose is now exploring all sorts of new possibilities for his giant Groosinator. So just climb up into the bad boy and he'll give us a lift over to the woods. That doesn't quite sound safe, but, well, I guess. It's have a tendency to cause trouble for those he helps. Yeah, well, maybe. But, you know, at least he's helping, right? At least he's doing something useful. Alright, so obviously, I guess at this point you could go back through the Gate of Time. They won't let you, but there's nothing to do there, so there's really no point. I guess if you wanted to go check on Zelda or something. So let's head back out, and this time we're going to have to enlist Groose's help in order to actually get over to the woods. So it should be interesting. Apparently the entire place is flooded. So we'll have to try to figure out why that is, and it'd be kind of cool to see the place completely covered in water, I'd say. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to Groose here. And, well, short and simple, just hop into the Groosinator. Alright, let's do it. And this shot is kind of crazy, by the way. I mean, watch this. Holy crap. How do you, like, fling something that far with just that little catapult? There's no way. Alright, so thankfully, the whole place is flooded, so we can just dive right in. And check this out. So all the Kikwis have had to take refuge up on the lily pads and everything. You can see, yeah, that's the entire place submerged. So it's kind of interesting how we can get around here now, because we can literally just swim anywhere. You know, we don't have to worry about platforming. Even most of the, like, ascent up the tree, like, this was the later part of it, you know, even most of that is completely flooded. So let's go ahead, I guess, and talk to the Elder. You can also notice there's a slightly different variation of the theme playing here in the background. It's the same song, just, you know, it sounds slightly different. So I think it's kind of cool. We're actually going to get introduced to another musical theme here in a minute, too. Let's go and talk to the Elder and see just what happened here. I don't really know where all this water came from. Alright, yeah, this water, man, what do you think brought me here to see you? Things do look quite a bit different here. So it came gushing out of the base of the tree and just flooded the entire woods. There wasn't that much water in there, was there? Don't know what caused it, but I guess it'll clear out the monsters. Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it. It's kind of like dislocated all the Kikwees here. They've been sort of kicked out of their natural habitat, it seems. I imagine it'd be kind of hard to survive if the entire place is covered in water. These bokoblins up here are kind of stranded too. Looks like they're kind of looking out, wondering what they should do, I guess. Alright, well, I guess since this whole place is covered in water, there's really only one logical way for us to go. He said that the water came out of the base of the tree, so luckily our hole here is still open, so we can just head right inside. Alright, I probably should have picked up that air bubble, but whatever, we'll pick up the next one. There we go. Yeah, like I said, air is not usually a problem, even though we did pick up the potion, which we'll use in a little bit, but we don't quite need it yet. So this time, since this entire place is flooded, we can pretty much just swim straight up to the next level, and saves quite a lot of time, actually. I wish this was here the first time we climbed this tree. Alright, so as we go in and we walk around a bit, I have to find the spot. There it is. Quite a lot of mobility for such a big dragon, wouldn't you say? Trying to be all scary. It's like, oh, it's just me. It's okay, lady. Oh. Yeah, so she remembers us. All is well. She's not so angry anymore. And we do seem a good deal stronger, of course. We've been doing quite a lot of work since then, actually. You know, I've come quite a long way. So, keep this line in mind. You're the real thing. It's clear you have the spirit of a hero of the goddess. Just remember that. Remember last time, she pretty much said that she recognized that we were the hero. And of course, even realizes that we've come all the way here to get the Song of the Hero part. But unfortunately, she can't just go giving that away to every hero of the goddess that's only chosen once. So no, I think a final test is in order. We have to do just one more little piece of menial work, you know? Alright, so apparently she's the one who decided to just flood the whole woods to get rid of the monsters. I guess that works. So it's here in this flooded land that she's going to test us one more time. Well, of course, right? Even Link's like, what the heck? Come on. So of course she's now split up the melody. Not sure how that works, how you like physically split up a song, but okay. So yeah, wow, look at all these things we have to collect, man. Of course, so we can, and you can tell they're kind of grouped up, and you know, we'll explain all this in a little bit, but basically the general premise is we have to find all those little tad tones she just released, and that will form the song so she can teach it to us. Link, don't be so nice, man. You should be angry at this. Oh, of course, the Wii Remote battery charge is running low. Yeah, we all knew. Alright, so it'll probably die at some point during this, but oh well, I'll just change it when that happens. Okay, so now we get to swim all around this place and pick up all of those tad tones. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? For this basic reason, the fact that she pretty much acknowledges that we're the hero chosen by the goddess, but still wants to test us anyway, this is probably my least favorite part of the game. Not to mention all those things we have to collect. It's essentially just busy work. I mean, she even admits, like, you know, you're probably the hero, but we should do one more test just in case. You know, like, it's just menial, mindless collecting things so we can learn the song. She couldn't just give it to us straight away. So because of that, this is one of the parts that kind of grinds my gears a little bit, but Anyway, before we dive off in search of these things, obviously this is the reason that I grabbed the air potion, because we're going to be swimming underwater for most of this. So it's better to just not even have to worry about our air. First things first, we're going to hop off and flip that lily pad over, and that will free this single yellow Tadtone. And there we go, we'll grab that one. Okay, so this is the first of the, like, kind of a group of Tadtones here. If we collect them all in one pass, then we'll be fine, but if we don't... There we go. We gotta collect the rest of them before they get away. If you go too long without collecting one in a group, all the other ones will sort of, I guess, wrestle themselves out of your grip or something. I'm not quite sure how that works, but you can see there's another group here. So, of course, all the ones in a group are going to be close by, which does make things a little bit easier. So there's a single red one over here. There we go. Spinning helps a lot because it kind of drives them towards you, except with this one, like, even if you get really close to it, there's just a period of time where it seems like you can't collect it. Like, you saw how close I was, and it was really fighting against me there. Okay, so at this point we're going to head back because there's kind of a circular path that has a whole bunch in a group here. All of these are going to be in one set of notes. Yeah, you can destroy those things just by spinning into them. It's really no big deal. So we just swim around the circle here. We're going to have to pick up all the rest of these in this group. And there we go. And it's also worth noting that if you're not using an Air Potion Plus, each of the Tadtones that you collect will give you back some air, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. You can really just spin through an entire group. It's not a big deal. I'd just really rather not have to worry about air at all, you know? Okay, so once we pick up, I believe it's 7 groups, so we're going to have this little cutscene. We will get interrupted once more. However, neither of these are really important. They pretty much just serve to make you lose your place. So yeah, you saw those big, angry, dopey fish are gonna come and try to attack us. But basically, they pretty much just hang out on the surface, so it's really not even that big of a deal. So once we come in here, we actually need to head back around. And let's see, it can be a little tricky to find your way around sometimes, just because you're really not used to seeing the forest from this angle. You know, like you're way up above everything, so it's a little strange at times. These mine things are annoying. Dude, get off. I gotta collect these things. Okay. Alright, so now that we've got that, let's see what else we've got. Take a look at my map here and try to remember what all's next. I think at this point, oh yeah, that's right. There's actually going to be a group of 4 kind of pink ones that kind of go along this little spiral path here. They do move around. Yeah, there we are. We can see them in the background here. Alright, so there's all 4 of those. So now we can head over here into the kind of mushroom section. This is where the kiwi hid from us at the very beginning of the game. And there's going to be a couple over here in this grassy area, just 2 red ones to pick up. There they are. And then we're going to want to head back. Of course, there are some amber relics kind of scattered throughout here, too, if you need them. They're pretty easy to grab because you have basically free reign of the place. Okay, now this one, of course, purple air bubbles, if you weren't using an Air Potion Plus, would take away your air, so avoid them. And this is the longest group. I think there are 15 in total, maybe? I don't know. I'm not counting those. I'm trying to pay attention to where I'm going. But they're all along this path here, so there's no need to search too far out of your way. And there's the last 2. So that one helps a lot. That actually takes a pretty good number out of the equation. And then we can pick up these green ones in a line here. And there's our second scene. The Kiwi Elder, for some reason, thinks we should just come up and chat with him for a moment. If you go up and talk with him, you can actually get dousing on the Tadtones. The problem is you can't use dousing underwater, so it's, you know, its usefulness is a little bit limited, but it can be helpful if you've got just like 1 or 2 groups and you can't seem to find them. But we're making pretty good progress. We're actually pretty close to done. So we can grab these 4 in a line, just like that. And actually, it is worth coming up here for a little bit because there is one group of Tadtones near the Elder, if I can find him. One of the big dopey fish caught its attention there. Alright, oh man, I missed one. Okay, well I got it coming through, I guess that works. Alright, so there's just a couple more groups, I think 3 more left. Once we pick up this purple one, and then a purple one across the way. There we go. Okay, now at this point we've got this circular path. We're going to find this group of red ones. And of course it missed one. Ah, yeah, there's an example of them getting away, but I just picked them up again immediately, so that works. Okay, so now that we finished that, there's only one more left to get, and it's going to be hiding over here behind this rock. At this, I pretty much always take damage with this guy, because I don't want to just wait for him to get out of the way. But just knock the Froak into the rock, and it'll free that green one there. Oh, he actually didn't take damage, that's nice. And once we pick up that green one, that will finish it. Nice, not too shabby. And of course he makes a terrible pun. That's no small feat or no small beat. Like, come on, that's not any good at all. That's a terrible, terrible pun. Okay, well now that we found all the tad tones, we can head back and talk to the water dragon about finally getting that part of the Song of the Hero. However, I think we're probably going to just stop it for now, and we'll collect that in the next part, so let's go ahead. We'll just hang out here by the Kikwi Elder for a while. And, you know, it's cool kind of seeing this place completely covered by water, so we'll just stay here, enjoy the view for a bit, and next time we will talk to the water dragon and get her part of the Song of the Hero. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.